All right, good afternoon. My case is the Santa Fe Independent School District versus Doe. It was settled in 2000. And in 1995, the school district, which was small and overwhelmingly Baptist, was sued by two parents, one of which was Mormon and the other was Catholic, stating that school or prayer being held over the loudspeaker at a football game was an infringement on the Establishment Clause. And this case went to the Supreme Court, and they did uphold that it did violate the Establishment Clause. And so the school district argued that it was not a school-sponsored event, but it was a student-led prayer. And the way that that went about is that there was a vote that went on within the school, whether or not the students wanted to have prayer or not have prayer at the football games. And so yes, no. If they said yes, then the students also got to vote on who led that prayer. And so that was the district's argument, is that the kids are leading it. The Supreme Court did not agree to that and basically said the prayer took place on school property at a school-sponsored event, was broadcast over a school-wide loudspeaker controlled by school officials in a crowd in a school-owned stadium. So it did violate the Establishment Clause, and it was also a key question or a key argument here for the school district is that that student prayer was protected or private speech, and they said it was not, basically because all of the school personnel and equipment and all the things that went into it, everyone was aware and allowed it to happen on school grounds. We also see in this case the issue of coercion, and so there was a precedent set in about coercion in the Lee case, and then it states that students should not be forced with the choice to either go to this event and hear an offensive prayer or to stay home from the event and just miss the event altogether. Also, it was argued that students, like student athletes, cheerleaders, band, people like that, they didn't have a choice. Like those things were, mandatory, and so they couldn't opt out of not going anyway. So it was kind of like you were forced to be there. As far as application for principals, we live in the Bible Belt, and there's still school prayer over our loudspeaker every football game, and until probably someone says something about it, it'll be that way. But if we ever plan to teach in small town South Carolina that is in the heart of the Bible Belt, then we have to be aware of those things. And if we were to, as an administrator, decide that we were no longer going to do those prayers over the intercom, I would expect some feathers to be ruffled within the community. So that is something else that would have to be kind of be ready for. Also, we have to be very aware of what can and can't be done as far as does it look like it came from us, that it is school-sponsored or a school event, that it looks like we allowed those religious aspects to get in there and be presented as if it was from the school district.